graciously. Welcome to They're Playing My Song. This week we're going back a few centuries and focusing on classical music.
That was very good. You played my song very well. That was Once Upon a Dream, was it not?
It's about time you got here, Peter. You're 1.5 centuries late. Where have you been?
Oh, you know, decomposing.
Well, then introduce yourself to them.
Who?
Them, the people watching.
Why?
Guys, this is Peter Tchaichovsky of Russia. So, Peter, what got you started in music?
For as long as I could remember, Dubak was our nanny. She taught me German and French until I was fluent, and also taught me basic music. I loved it so much. I was beginning to write my very own compositions. By the age of 4, I had already written a few concertos and symphonies. Dubak managed to save some of them.
And obviously music was very important to you, right?
Yes, and then father sent me to the Imperial School of Jurisprudence at the age of 15, and I often played parodies of compositions by classical artists, such as Rossini, Verdi, and Mozart for my friends at school.
So you immediately went on to writing music professionally?
Actually, my first job was as a government clerk. I hated it, so I left and went to study at the New Music Academy in St. Petersburg. Then I went on to writing music for school and as an outlet for my emotions. I feel I was unable to grasp the concept of music form, so I relied heavily on colorful orchestration and romantic melodies, which you can hear in 1812 Overture, commemorating the Russian defeat of Napoleon, and in Swan Lake.
What kept you writing music?
I was sponsored by Madame Nadezhda von Meck. For 15 years, we did all of our correspondence through letters and never actually met in person.
And then it was after this you decided to get married?
Yes,
Do you regret getting married to Antonia Melivukova?
at first, no. She'd been a fellow student of mine back from St. Petersburg. Our marriage only lasted 2 months as a result of our constant arguments and my questioning of my sexuality. But all of my romance found its way into my music and ended up in Nutcracker and Swan Lake and The Sleeping Beauty. I would have liked to have kept writing music for many more years, but as people still haven't figured out how or why, I died shortly after the premiere of my 6th symphony. Are we done here? I was planning on going to see Black Swan on Netflix. It's based off Swan Lake, you know.
I guess so. Join us next time as we head over to reggae music starring Bob Marley. So, Mr. Berezovsky, what do you think of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony?
The Fifth Symphony is the weakest of Tchaikovsky's symphonies, but nevertheless is a striking work, taking a prominent place among not only the composer's output, but among Russian work in general. The entire symphony seems to spring from some dark spiritual experience.
Boston Evening Transcript, October 24th, 1892. Of the Fifth Tchaikovsky Symphony, one hardly knows what to say. In the finale, we have all the untamed fury of the Cossack, whetting itself for deed of atrocity against all the sterility of the Russian steppes. The furious peroration sound like nothing so much as a horde of demons struggling in a torrent of brandy, the music growing drunker and drunker, pandemonium delirium tremens, raving, and above all, noise worse confounded. Brown said about Tchaikovsky's Third Symphony. The Third Symphony was the most inconsistent and least satisfactory of the symphonies. It was badly flawed, but I admit it is not as devoid of particularly successful idea as the composer's own judgment would have us to believe. Tchaikovsky, caught in between the prescriptions of sonata form and his own lyric impulses, opted for the latter and was at least wise enough not to attempt an amalgamation of academic and melodic veins, which fundamentally worked against each other. The best parts of the symphony are the three inner movements, where the composer allowed his gift for melody its full, unfettered exercise. The symphony discloses the widening dichotomy with Tchaikovsky's style and powerfully proclaims the musical tensions that match those within the man himself. Tchaikovsky said about himself, "I've come to the conclusion that it is a failure." Musical Courier, March 13, 1889. In the Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony, one vainly sought for coherency and homogeneousness. In the last movement, the composer's Kalmuck blood got the better of him, and slaughter, dire and bloody, swept across the storm-driven. Wiley once said about Tchaikovsky's Third Symphony, "It was the least conformative of the symphonies. Its unorthodox structure and wide range of material may produce an impression of strangeness, especially of genre. These factors make the Third Symphony difficult to categorize. It is not folkish, nor classical, nor Berliozian, Lisztian, nor particularly Tchaikovskyan, in light of his other symphonies.